Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is the place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. So, it is cooked. It is Joe over, everyone. Marvel has pulled Blade from its release calendar. It had a release date of November of 2025, and it's been pulled from that release with it going on an indefinite hold or being delayed indefinitely. Now, when they had that release date for next year, I did not think that was coming up. I don't even think they have a director. They're still probably writing a new version of the script. So there was no way that movie was going to make it. And at this point, I think we are 5 years and some change since Mahershala Ali was initially announced as Blade in the MCU. So the only thing we've gotten of him as Blade is the photos of him putting on the Blade hat and his voice at the end of Eternals, which is kind of hilarious considering both the Eternals and Blade seem to have been erased from the MCU. And that post credit scene also had Kit Harington as the Black Knight, who we probably also will not see in the MCU anytime soon. This is incredibly frustrating. You have Mahershala Ali, who, after winning an Oscar, went up to Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige asks, "Hey, what do you want to do? We want to be in the Mahershala Ali business." He says, "Blade." Kevin Feige says, "Of course, we'll make it work. We'll fit it into the MCU," and they have not made it work. It is kind of sad that they can't figure out how to make Blade cool when the recipe and the ingredients are already there. When Wesley Snipes played the character, obviously he changed the world of comic book movies. Obviously, that character was catapulted to a new popularity, obviously much more popular than his comics counterpart. We saw the way people reacted to Wesley Snipes as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine. He even made a reference to the fact that there is only one Blade and will only ever be one Blade, which again is hilarious considering it seemed like more of a prediction than a joke that was in the movie. And when I saw that movie and when he said it, it was funny, but also not so funny because I was like, yeah, I think he's right. And it just goes to show you sort of, when it comes to Marvel, I think the reason this movie keeps getting delayed is that they keep trying to figure out how to fit Blade into the MCU versus trying to make a good Blade movie, which is a recipe for disaster. Blade, even in current Marvel continuity, they've tried to sort of put him in the Avengers and stuff like that. But like the book that's going on right now, which is Brian Edward Hill book, is amazing. Is just straightforward action. Yes, there's ties to the Marvel Cinematic, like the Marvel universe as a whole, but it's just a a a guy in leather killing vampires. Like that's all. I don't know what else to say. That's really all you really need to do. Throw some techno music in it, and there it is. And you saw like they did it in Deadpool and Wolverine, but I guess there was no pressure since he's only going to be in it for like 5 minutes and, they get to sort of move on. But with Mahershala, I don't know, they just keep trying to like figure this out when it's not that hard. Like, do you need a map? What, what is going on there? And, like, they've done movies that are more complicated, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the fact that that trilogy worked, and you had a talking tree, a talking raccoon. You can't figure out Blade. And what's even sort of more frustrating about that is that there are a lot of vampire movies coming out soon. Tom Holland is in Christopher Nolan's next film, and there are reports, but kind of rumors that that is a movie set in a certain time period with vampires. Ryan Coogler is obviously working on a big action film with Michael B. Jordan, which is also a period piece featuring vampires. So it seems like everyone is making their Blade movie except Marvel. And it would have been great to see. At this point, we probably should have been on Blade 2. And I think there have been some reports about a Midnight Suns movie being made, but I feel like they just keep throwing that out there to sort of be like, hey, like, even though Blade's not happening, there's something cool coming. Just wait. And at this point, they should just cut their losses and cancel the movie. Just cancel it. It's clear that you don't want Blade in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's frustrating, and it shows that the approach that James Gunn is taking with the DCU, which he said at the New York Comic Con panel for Creature Commandos, of not imposing a overall aesthetic on every project at DC, is the right approach, because then you, after a while, you run into situations like this where a character like Blade, who should probably be approached from an R-rated perspective, is going to have vampires, which doesn't quite meld in the world of Thanos and stuff like that. When you have something like that, it's not too difficult to be like, you know what, let's just make a vampire movie and it's going to be fun, dope, and we don't have to worry about it connecting to 5 different storylines. Hey, let's put them in the internals, which, again, in hindsight makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I'm not even surprised. I think that, a lot of people is taking it as big news, but it's one of those things I'm just waiting for the announcement of Mahershala Ali himself announcing that and what's weird is he's been in movies, and I don't know if he's been doing press, and no one's ever asked him like, hey, like, what's happening with Blade? Like, they've asked Kevin Feige and stuff, but I wonder what his thoughts are. He's basically been sort of waiting for this to happen, and after winning 2 Oscars, he hasn't been in any like huge franchise movies. He's still done some great work, but that was supposed to be like his Anchor franchise, and where he's the star. He's in Jurassic Park, the new one with Scarlett Johansson, but he's not the star of that film, and it's incredibly sad that it seems like this contract sort of has him in a place where he can't pursue other things. And it's sad that moment, which was probably one of the, like, I would say it was the moment that they had hoped RDJ as Doom would have been, where people groaned. People were really excited when that announcement happened, when Mahershala came out and put on that hat. That was an iconic moment, and now is quite sad, and it almost feels like a moment from Always Sunny or Curb Your Enthusiasm, where you just want to play that music. And in hindsight, it kind of was sort of like the beginning of the end of Marvel really sort of pursuing really creative and unique ideas, because ever since then, it's just been really, I mean, there's been one-off successes and stuff like that, but because there's this machine they have to feed and sort of make everything work around it, they're not able to do something like Blade, which seems simple. Yeah, and at this point, just cancel it. Just stop making us wait for Blade. Just move on. I don't know, and it's crazy, they haven't really done anything with those type of characters. Werewolf by Night got a great Disney Plus special, and they haven't followed up on that. Moon Knight was not great, and that hasn't gotten to season 2, despite having some great ratings and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Blade, I'm sorry, but just cancel it. Like, it was great to see. And you know what? Not even cancel it. Just give us Old Man Blade. Give us Old Man Blade. Cast Wesley. At this point, he's almost the same age as Mahershala, because we've waited so long. So just make the Old Man Blade movie. Make everyone happy. And, your stock price will go up. And that's what you really want. So, yeah, frustrating, but I guess that's what it is. So let me know what you think about Blade being delayed or really canceled in the comments, and like and subscribe. Peace.